Hi, friend. Spring is almost here, and with that comes changing to daylight savings time. Now, if your family is like mine, any sort of changes in our sleep pattern means that it takes us several days to get back into that new rhythm, and I actually lose a lot of time trying to get everybody out the door, dressed on time, or get to bed on time, and it just is a lot more of a hassle. However, I wanted to share two simple strategies in dealing with daylight savings time that may make things a little bit easier. So the first strategy I actually learned from a book called Simple Abundance by Sarah Breathnach. I read this book years and years ago, and she was talking about how we often stay up too late and that we wake up still sleep deprived. And her suggestion was to just start going to bed 10 minutes earlier until you got used to going to bed 10 minutes earlier. And then after that, back up your bedtime another 10 minutes and get used to that until you actually were waking up rested. Well, it's a brilliant idea, right? Because our bodies like gentle changes rather than the rip off the Band-Aid approach. So I was thinking about how we could use this for daylight savings time. What if we put our kids to bed 10 minutes earlier than they're used to? Or what if we actually go to bed 10 minutes earlier than we are used to? And do that for 2 or 3 days until we get used to it, and then go another 10, 15 minutes earlier than where we were before. And in doing that, we can gently let our bodies adjust to going to bed just a little bit earlier and waking up a little bit earlier rather than just the traditional all of us are just groaning and moaning when we wake up. That's the first day that we've sprung forward, right? So I would love to hear it if you can try that with your family. You still have time to get that going now. However, I want to confess that my family doesn't change for daylight savings time. And what I mean by that is that we let the clocks change, but we still do the things at the same in the same normalcy that we would. And what I mean by that is this. In the winter, we have dinner at 5 o'clock. However, when the clocks spring forward, we actually move our dinner time to 6 o'clock. So for us, nothing changes. The clocks move, we don't. So obviously in the winter, we get up an hour earlier than we do in the spring and the summer. I started doing this a long time ago when I had a toddler and it was just too difficult to try to get her to sleep as it was. There was no way that she was going to try to fall back and go to bed even an hour earlier. This was obviously during the fall season. And I just decided right then and there, I was not going to bother changing her schedule. I was just going to let the clocks move and we were going to keep doing what we've been doing. Well, that little one is now a teenager. It still works really well for us. However, we are homeschoolers, and so we have the luxury of starting our day and not having to be somewhere so early in the mornings. However, when I do have to be out the door, I just know in the fall and the winter, it's a lot easier for us to do things earlier in the morning versus in the spring and the summer. We're not so much early birds then. So those are my two strategies for how to ease your way into daylight savings time. Let me know in the comments if you have tried either of these strategies for switching to daylight savings time. And if you haven't, let me know which one that you're going to try with your family before this weekend. I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks so much for listening.